Thanks for joining me. I am Mark Jensen with the sales staff at Sharp Brothers Seed Company in Healy, Kansas. Sharp Brothers also maintains a sales and warehouse facility at Greeley, Colorado. We are primarily a forage and grass seed company, alfalfa being one of our primary products. We sell seed across the nation and internationally, but our primary market is the plains and front range of these United States. Know the concerns of alfalfa producers on the plains and front range and would like to discuss alfalfa growth characteristics that address those concerns. More efficient use of rainfall and irrigation water is our biggest concern and will be the focus of this PowerPoint presentation. More production with limited water. More hay, less water. Meet Ted Hesselink, our alfalfa specialist, who has spent most of his life managing large acreage alfalfa farms in southwest Kansas. As Ted says, rain does not always fall when you need it. Irrigation water is not always available at the optimum time. In an imperfect world, the hay producer needs a genetic package that gives him the greatest flexibility when converting water into alfalfa. The HybriForce Alfalfa hybrids deliver that package. Please allow us to explain the reasons that HybriForce Alfalfa hybrids exhibit outstanding water use efficiency. HybriForce 2600, 2400, and 2420 wet are produced by Dairyland Seeds and marketed by Sharp Brothers Seed Company in the Plains and Front Range regions. All three of these hybrids have two important growth characteristics that improve water efficiency and drought tolerance. During early stages of drought and stress, these hybrids maintain vegetative growth and resist premature flowering. This is described as heat bloom resistance or heat bloom tolerance. After severe drought, when drought-breaking moisture is restored to the field, HybriForce alfalfas quickly recover and regrow. Let's look at these growth characteristics a bit closer. Heat bloom. Plains producers use that phrase to describe the situation when alfalfa blooms prematurely as a result of intense summer heat. If heat-bloomed alfalfa does produce new foliage, it will be from the crown at or below the soil line of the plant, and any tonnage added will be at the expense of the next cutting. From a management standpoint, it means that it is time to swath. There is no advantage to delay. Producers with HybriForce alfalfa tell us that these hybrids do not heat bloom as readily as do other varieties. The difference in heat bloom can be as much as 5 days in side-by-side comparisons. This gives HybriForce alfalfas the ability to accumulate more tonnage per cutting cycle during summer heat. HybriForce has a greater opportunity to add tonnage to that cutting cycle with a late irrigation or a late rainfall without sacrificing plant health and vigor. Meet Darrell Puckett, an alfalfa grower at Ulysses, Kansas. He presently has both HybriForce 2400 and HybriForce 2600 growing on his farm. He has noted that these hybrids resist early bloom under stress conditions. This gives him a larger window of opportunity, in other words, more days to add tonnage with a late rain or irrigation. When you're stretching short irrigation water over long acres, you want an alfalfa with heat bloom resistance. Under severe drought conditions, when plant available water is completely depleted, alfalfa will wilt and assume dormancy. When soil moisture is restored following drought, it is critical that the alfalfa crop quickly recover and regrow. Post-drought recovery of HybriForce hybrids has also been outstanding. Once again, making the most of water when it is available. Meet Mike Velde, Dairyland Seeds product manager and alfalfa breeder. The folks at Dairyland have been able to identify semi-dormant or full-season alfalfa strains that exhibit excellent winter survival as well as spring frost tolerance. The breeders at Dairyland have been able to incorporate these three traits in HybriForce 2600. Fall dormancy 6 with early spring and late fall growth pattern, outstanding winter hardiness with a winter survival rating of 2, which is far better than required for any of the southern or central plains climate, and excellent spring frost tolerance. The success of HybriForce 2600 is dependent on all three traits. If any one of the three were missing, the other two would be much less valuable. HybriForce 2600 is the only alfalfa variety on the market with such a strong combination of these traits, and for that reason is the strongest alfalfa on the Great Plains. Let's look at these traits in a bit more detail. Fall dormancy 6 is also described as semi-dormant, full season, or long season alfalfa. No matter what you call it, fall dormancy 6 alfalfa gets out of bed early in the spring and starts growing when soil moisture is converted most efficiently to alfalfa forage. Fall dormancy 6 alfalfas take full advantage of mild temperatures in spring and fall. Short season or fall dormancy 4 alfalfas, as an example, do not take full advantage of the cool seasons. Combined with outstanding winter hardiness, HybriForce 2600 is able to withstand the Great Plains climate year after year and produce outstanding yields. The central and southern plains are noted for extreme and rapid weather changes during the winter and spring. Mild temperatures often drop to bone-chilling cold in just a few hours. HybriForce 2600 is well adapted to this environment with a winter survival rating of 2 in variety testings overseen by the independent North American Alfalfa Improvement Conference. Spring frost tolerance, a related characteristic, is also an essential companion trait to early spring growth. Essential so that early production gains are not lost due to late spring frosts. As you can see from this picture, HybriForce 2600 leads the class in spring frost tolerance. Meet Tom White from Lake, Kansas. After planting in the early fall of 2013, his HybriForce 2600 yielded 2.8 tons per acre with the first cutting in 2014. He had outstanding forage quality, and this variety outdid his farm average by 1,200 pounds per acre. HybriForce 2600 is a wonderful performing alfalfa. The entire lineup of Dairyland Seeds HybriForce alfalfas combine hybrid vigor, heat bloom resistance, and fast recovery after prolonged severe drought. HybriForce 2600 is a unique combination of these traits in addition to full season, semi-dormant growth habit, excellent winter survival, and spring frost tolerance, a package that offers unparalleled yield potential, forage quality, and water use efficiency for the central and southern plains environment. HybriForce 2600 is a great fit for the Great Plains. I'd like to talk with you about genetic uniformity and its importance to alfalfa production. Think of your alfalfa field as a population of billions of individual plants. The billions of plants in a field of HybriForce hybrid alfalfa exhibit uniform growth and uniform response to the growing environment. HybriForce hybrids have only three parent lines, similar to three-way cross corn, and you know how uniform today's corn hybrids are. As a result, the vast majority of those billions of HybriForce plants are ready to swath at the same time. Uniformity puts HybriForce plants in the sweet spot where tonnage yield, forage quality, plant health, regrowth vigor, and stand longevity are optimum when swathed. By comparison, Competitive alfalfa varieties frequently have over 50 parent lines with poor uniformity, delivering a smaller percentage of the plant population in the sweet spot of plant development at swathing time. Yield, quality, regrowth vigor, and stand longevity are all lowered as a result. Have you ever heard the old agronomist tale that alfalfa should be allowed to reach 50% bloom for at least one cutting per season? That advice is based on the recognition that plant populations of most alfalfa varieties have a large percentage of slow developing plants. Let's call these slowpokes slackers. Since the slackers never meet the swath or sickle bar with adequate growth, they never achieve an adequately recharged crown. They are slow to regrow, they are chronically weak, and they are likely to die early, resulting in early stand loss. The old 50% bloom once per season rule was intended to slow the loss of slacker plants and help maintain the thickness of the stand. Since there are no genetic slackers in the HybriForce hybrid alfalfa, these hybrids can thrive when subjected to a frequent harvest schedule. In addition to the advantages of yield, quality, regrowth, and stand longevity, HybriForce hybrids and a frequent harvest schedule can contribute to water use efficiency. How so?
Question. Compare a 28-day harvest schedule with a 32-day harvest schedule. Which schedule will use the most soil moisture? How much additional soil moisture will be used? Answer. The 28-day harvest schedule will use about 1 inch less moisture than the 32-day schedule. Evapotranspiration moisture use of fully canopied alfalfa is frequently 1/4 inch per day. In addition to the traits we have just discussed, Dairyland Seeds and Sharp Brothers provide alfalfa varieties that are particularly well suited for problem fields with high salt concentrations and high water tables. With an experienced forage agronomy sales staff and facilities in Healy, Kansas and Greeley, Colorado, Sharp Brothers Seed Company is prepared to meet the needs of plains and front range producers. Thanks for your attention.